Hey everybody. So I meant to have a travel video up this week and it just didn't happen, or last week I should say. And we went on another trip this weekend and just got home, and so I'm going to give you a tour of the garden since it's changed some since you saw it last. And then I'll try to get that travel video up. I did do a little bit of video this weekend, but not a whole lot. We did a quick trip through Yellowstone today. We went to Pinedale, Wyoming for a wedding, and then came home today through Yellowstone. So I'll give you a quick tour of the garden. Now, remember, this is realistic, not the pretty gardens that you see at other places, because this is real. So, cat's digging over there. So let me give you a tour real quick. Okay, we're gonna start in the peppers. So, jalapenos poblano, volunteer dill, jalapenos, poblanos, and then this is a row of this and that. We've got jalapenos here in the front. You can see those jalapenos in there. They are sipping on things. They are turning red. So it is time to make hot sauce. Oh, I see one on the ground in there. So we need to get in there and pick jalapenos. Then this, again, a monstrosity, is the squash. So we've got two types of pumpkins, two types of winter squash. This thing right here is the zucchini, which I need to get in there and pick. There's a yellow squash. Oh, before we go over to the yellow squash, there's a pumpkin in here. It's pretty big. There is let's see if we can find it right here. A white pumpkin. There is, there, I see it. Right in there is the honey boat squash. There's a bunch of those in here. I will not know how many of what I've got in here until it's time to pull it all. So the yellow squash is right here, which it's surrounded by others. And it is finally starting to produce good looking squash. It was doing weird stuff. It was dying. The plant was dying, but it is looking a whole lot better now. But it's surrounded by winter squash. So there is all of that. Now let's go hit the back row real quick. Bell peppers. They are looking good. This one may need propped up, but we've got some red ones in there. I'm going to try making paprika out of some of those. And so you smoke them, and then, or I'm going to do smoked paprika. So I need to get out here and pick, and I may put you on a stand and pick some stuff. Basil is still doing terribly. That weed back here is amaranth, and so I have left it. And let me see if I can show you. These big tall things, when they dry out, they become a grain, and then you cut off this whole long thing and you put it in a bag and let it dry, and then you shake it, and the grain will come separate from the rest of it. And so you do it like you would wheat back in the day, where you throw it up in the air, the chaff blows away, and the grain falls to the ground. So I'm gonna try that. This year is supposed to be good for your brain. Well, it looks like some of my plastic came up over there, so we gotta fix that. I've got tomatoes ripe. I have so many cherry tomatoes, and there's a lot of them ripe, so I need to get in there and pick those. So on these, let's talk about these Brad Atomic Grape tomatoes. So this is what they look like before they're ripe, and this is more what they look like when they're ripe. So they're gonna be softer. Oh, let's pick that one. So they look like that, and they're softer. These are like rock hard. These ones up here are really hard. So you can tell by how soft they are. And I need to pick a bunch of stuff. So, oh, that's cherries. Then I've got a Dr. Witchy's ready. The first one I did was yellow, and this one's more orange. Maybe it was orange. Oh, and here comes Lance, and he can help me pick. So I'm sure I've got a bunch of tomatoes in here ready. The marigolds have gotten really big. More tomatoes. More tomatoes. And then the onions over here with a volunteer dill. So the onions are doing pretty well. And this weekend we are having a party, and so we will be getting rid of all of the weeds, and I don't know if you noticed, but I cut the weeds down that were over here, and they're now over here. Okay, so over here we have all that squash, and then here we have broccoli and cauliflower, and the broccoli is actually putting on another head. So let me walk around here and show you. We cut a head off somewhere in here. Can't even find the spot anymore. Right, there we go. Right in there, we cut off a pretty big head. And now it's putting on another head over here. And so I'm just gonna wait for that to get bigger and then harvest that. I wasn't totally expecting another head off that, so we'll see. I suggest when you cut your broccoli, leave it, because it may put on more heads, and you never know. I usually do broccoli that does a lot of little heads, and so this is my first year doing broccoli with one big head, so I was surprised to get a second. This is a cauliflower, and it is behind. I'll show you the other cauliflowers and show you what they're doing. Then here we have more squash. This is a butternut. We have some big ones in here. They're bigger than normal. So there's a butternut, and it's probably really bad at distances, maybe between 12 inches and 18 inches long, and well, I would say about 12 inches long. And normally they don't get that big for me, and it's fatter than I've gotten in the past. And then here we've got, there's another butternut in there, and then down here we've got acorn. And I said we had Siamese twins, but they are dying back, so that's fine. We've got one down there, and one here, and so I don't really care for acorn squash, so I don't really care how much we get of that. And then let's go back over here. It's a little bit of an obstacle course because this right here should be the walkway, and there's a butternut squash plant in the way, so I have to kind of go around everything. This is broccoli romanesco, and it puts on a head like cauliflower does, and so it makes this little bundle in the center of the plant, and then it will put on a head there. And this looks like I'm gonna actually get 3, and I think I only had 2 plants here, but this one's getting a bundle in that center, and then I have one there, and then I have one over here. And cabbage, so that one I haven't harvested yet. It needed to be harvested a long time ago. This is the first one I harvested, and you can see it's putting on a bunch of heads, a whole bunch of little heads. So we just let that go. This one's starting, it's got bugs, but it's starting more little heads. And then we've got cauliflower over here. So See how that bundle has like a bundle in the center? This one's kind of a better example. It kind of closes up on itself and then it produces a head inside there. This one's here, and the other two I can't get to from the side. Walk around. We've got one down in here. You kind of can see that there's like a little bundle right in the center. And then this one, I'll find it, oh, right here. So it's kind of protecting itself in there. So, and it's being overtaken by all this squash. My friends, Dan and Amanda, that were here this summer, they left some herbs. So they had basil. So I went ahead and planted all that basil before we went on our trip. We'll see how it does. And then some other herbs. And I don't remember what they all are, but I'll figure it out and figure out what I'm supposed to do with them. And then I pulled a radish the other day over here. It was good size, but I have two small radishes there. Oh, I know what was down there that died. It was a radish. But so there, we'll see if we get radishes out of that. This one I accidentally pulled a radish out and went to put it back in, and it died, so it's fine. I wasn't expecting much. And like I said, realistic. So this is weeds. We're gonna get rid of those weeds this week before the party, because I always do garden tours and weeds. So we'll get rid of that. The beans are coming up nicely. I don't know that they have enough time for them to live. This one does not look well, but you know, yeah, it looks like it's dying. And then this one is looking good, except for I don't know that I have enough time to actually get beans. So I pulled most of the peas the other day. I didn't get those. And then there's one growing, so I left it. And then the strawberries are doing well. That'll be part of my picking when I put you on a stand and pick, but they are doing pretty well in there. I don't see any red right off, but I have to dig down in there and not get stung this time. I've been trying to do it gingerly. And then over here, I gave people leeks this year, and they say that their leeks are doing way better than mine. And I think that was because we had that water issue. So, we'll see. I may not do leeks again. And then the eggplant are doing well. And cucumbers. So I have little bitty ones that probably do not have enough time. And then I've got, this is a store-bought one. And I am not sure if I actually have any coming on there, because that's too close. Like this one right here. This plant is a lemon cucumber. So this may be a cucumber right there, but I'm not sure. We'll find out later. I do have a couple in here. This is a pickling, and there's a little tiny one right there, and I've got another little tiny cucumber down at the other end. But these are all tiny cucumber plants. And oh, I've got, actually, look at that. There's one right there. It looks, I mean, it's still tiny, but it's a little bit bigger. It's better than what we had. So that is the garden. And every year I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so huge and so much. And I've already started planning for next year's garden, so that at the end of the season I can move weed barrier to where I need it to be, so I don't have to cut new holes. And I actually think just this section and the section where the peppers and the squash are what's gonna get moved. And everything else will probably stay the same. So there's the garden tour. I'm gonna put you on a stand and let you watch me harvest some things. it got missed. So the squash scratches you pretty good. So I need to put pants on and get in there and dig around. Okay, so earlier when Lance came out here, he helped me pick some tomatoes. We got 2 beefsteaks and a Dr. Witchy's. But now I'm gonna do some cherries, and they do better in a bowl than in my apron. So where we were for the wedding in Wyoming, we were waking up to 32 degrees in the morning. It was kind of chilly. And so we woke up to that this morning, and they got home and it was 90 degrees here. So we're hot. We're like, oh, it's hot. So I am gonna not cut my head off. I'm gonna quickly pick some strawberries and then go in for dinner. So I'll see you guys later.